Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another Sci-fi Furniture video, and today we're going to be talking about a couple of things that which I think could come to the game and could affect certain characters, such as like reworks and all that stuff. So let's just start off with what each theme kind of is. So I just kind of thought about this. Fantasy is a theme which focuses on debuffing. You know, you got the standard rate, which lowers attack. Same for like Dark Mage Craig. Kenny lowers attack. You also have Leah Bar Jimmy lowering the health. You have DSR lowering the health. Rogue Token kind of the same, like lowering the health. Witch Garrison lowering the speed. Which if you go over to what's the next one, superheroes, they kind of focus on killing the backline. So you have Manbearpig, Crunch of Chaos. You have Timothy, Fast Pass. All characters that do like long range damage, like from the behind, which is kind of good. Also, I guess kind of Super Craig as well. We have Neutral. I don't really know what the hell Neutral is. Adventure. I would say more of like AOE damage. So you have like, Hour of Storm. You have Paraship Timmy, like does like no explosion. Sheriff Cartman does an explosion. Outlaw Tweak does an explosion. Who else? Captain Wendy. And then obviously, yes, Stan Mini Moons does AoE as well. And Thunderbird, kind of AoE. Same for Swordman Garrison, kind of Inkane Craig as well. And obviously Fireball. And then Sci-Fi does focus more on speed and like freezing. So Robo Baby, Robo Tweak, who else? I mean, Hyperdrive, yeah. Technically gets more right because you're essentially like duplicating yourself, so you're doing more speed damage, whatever. Powerfist Dougie just slows people down. Stuart slows people down, also freezes, and also like speed himself up. And then also, he does have Program Stan and the Freeze Ray. Mystical, obvious one, focus more on healing. So you have Freya Jimmy, you have Hallelujah, more of energy gain because of other things like Juice Guy Ike. You have Choir Boy Butters, and wait, who's? It's Kenny. Kenny's the one that buffs the damage. And then what's the last? Oh, that's it, yeah. So that's pretty much all the themes and what they do. So, kind of following that premise, you can kind of go along with like how you can change some cards. So if we're talking about reworks, is it possible for South Park to get a rework or to rework cards? Yes, but it's not how we think it should be. So let me just say, for example, Kogo, she's kind of bad. So to rework her would be to change her completely and basically remove the war cry to where she doesn't summon an ally. It could be something weird like summoned. I don't want to say summon. Just something I can't really think of it. Just let's just say freezes everyone. It's not a unique thing, but I'm just gonna say it just because I'm trying to think of something on the spot and I just can't think of it. Something completely different to what she does. That would be a rework and changing her completely to basically she's a new card but just the same character. That's a rework. But in South Park, we kind of haven't gotten one before, and it's been almost 3 years now. We haven't gotten one single rework, especially since it's like been like a year and a half, even but definitely a year and a half since we've gotten the BFU, which was that changed epics and legendaries to be good. So a lot of the cards like these guys here stand the great, Princess Kenny, to say the least, Dark Mage Craig, even though he wasn't really that good. These cards haven't gotten any single play because they got nerfed before the actual update. Now they pretty much just buffed them back up to what they used to do. Stand the great, make him great again. Basically, just make it so it removes all attack for how long? 5 seconds? Why not? Just do that. Kenny, make that back up to 10 seconds. You can do other ones, but let's talk about reworks to be fair. So reworks, they can't at least this is what I'm thinking of, right? They're not gonna make it so it changes the animations of cards, and by that I mean just if you look at Manbearpig, he's a pretty good example. Essentially, he got a rework. So if you don't know, Manbearpig is now AoE, and nothing changed to the actual character animation. They just made it so he attacks everyone around him, like in a little cone radius in front of him. That's essentially a rework. He used to be single target, now he's AoE. That is what we're going to class as like a South Park Furniture rework. So we talked about in my other video about the Manbearpig AoE when like we kind of got like the first tease for it. Kogo is essentially getting a rework, so she is basically getting it so she spawns the highest cost ally in your hand, or your superhero ally in your hand, which obviously is better towards the Qun, which works really well with the Qun because the big downfall right now is that Qun needs superheroes in your deck to get him obviously the high attack, but then the more superheroes you have, the less chance you have of Kogo spawning in the Qun. So yeah, it makes sense for her to actually spawn the highest cost card, even though I think it should favor the Qun the most, because Mysterion is 5 cost, so if you're spawning, if you have both of them in your hand, it's 50-50 if you're going to get Mysterion or the Qun, which, you know, could make you lose the game. But yeah, I should say, changing stats, you know, technically Inuit Kenny, he got a buff. That's not a rework, because all he did was lower his cost. So we're talking about kind of ability changes. So the Qun, how I would do it, so remember, you can't change the animation, you can't change anything about the character, and since the Qun doesn't have, you know, any animation apart from attacking, he can't get like a, if you played the faction for a whole game, you know he does like a little scratch, like he like, flies forward and scratches people. That's what I thought his ability would be before he came out, but since now he doesn't have literally any animation to do that, I think a little rework, it's not the biggest thing, still have this teamwork stuff on, but make it so his normal attacks, just when he hits people, it adds a bleed effect. Why not? Because he's currently the only, well, I guess Zen Cartman doesn't do it, but he's currently the only Cartman that can't do like an AoE attack, which is kind of bad because he can get spawns really fast. So if he does obviously a lot of damage with his let's say 200 plus attack, 300 plus attack, but then also bleeding them, you know, they're gonna die a lot faster, and also if he does end up dying but does hit a target, they will eventually bleed out. So that's I think they definitely should do that with the Qun, because he's got claws, so why not? Especially in was it Fractured Butthole, he was focused on bleeding people, so why not add that to the game? I thought they would have. It's kind of similar to Poison, so that's why they're probably not doing it. So I can see why, but let me go towards. I guess we'll do one character from each theme. Let's go to Adventure, because I know a good one. Shaman Token. He currently has a useless ability because, firstly, they nerfed like Sandy Great, for example, and no one really uses poison anymore. So what effects are you removing? Currently, every like effect in the game is more of like instant damage. You have like Midbury Crunch, Standard Immunes, Inkane Craig, Witch Doctor Token. You can't counter that, right? So since his charge, well, it's firstly is a charge, right? His animation is like he like cleanses the whole field and like slimes down a bit. So keep the same animation, but just make it so rather than removing negative effects, you remove the ultimate the charge ability. So currently the mayor of South Park, she does that, but it's more of a war cry. This time it's you can save it, and I guess he's a common, so he's probably going to remove your own things, your own charge abilities, which make him balance, but just a little rework you could do to him to make him actually usable. Because currently, right now, I mean, the only time you're probably going to see him is in Team Wars. But even then, I haven't even seen him in Team Wars once, and it's a choice between him and someone else, so you're probably never going to pick him. Let's go towards Sci-fi. Who could we get a rework here? Okay, so Sci-fi is kind of hard to think of a rework for the card, but I'm just going to... It's more of a buff than a rework, but let's just do it. If you don't know, currently we have a new feature in the game, which is charge abilities that activate automatically, which is the Thunderbird. Why not do that for Gizmo? Because, I mean, the whole point of Gizmo is to spawn people in, right? So you're kind of not saving it. You kind of always just tap in the screen, especially when there's so many. I guess the drawback would be if you're going for an attack and you charge and you stop the attack by automatically charging. But make it so Gizmo just splits into two, but it does it automatically. Why not? It's just, especially when there's like thousands of them in the screen, you're just spamming the thing. You can't really see what you're doing. You're just spamming the screen. So why not make it automatically, which would be a lot better. And then maybe the main person, if you kill him, he splits into two. Like just for the added effect. If you do kill the main Gizmo Ike, he splits into two. Because right now, Gizmo Ike has never seen a good day, to be honest. He's always been like the... people have used him and he's been decent, especially in Team Wars. He's actually kind of good, especially if you get the right setup. But he's never been that good. So that's my essential rework, or more of a change. It could be a rework. Yeah, it kind of is, because you know, him dying and splitting into two will be a lot better. Since you know, it's just more of like, if he does get rogue tokened, he then splits into two. So only the original though, only the original one, because obviously if that happens, then he essentially will never die. Yeah, so let's go to this mystical theme. Okay, so this one's a bit of a stretch, but why not? We're kind of going just making outrageous stuff, and I kind of want to hear what you guys think in the comments on what you would change. So just from looking at the picture, the tiger is clearly scared of Hercules Clyde, so make it a rework. So when he does run towards the enemy and hits him, the enemy is just feared. It's a ridiculous thing to say, right? Feared or scared. So he does, the enemy can't attack Hercules Clyde, which, I mean, okay, if we're within a spot, right, so it's not the best idea, but it's something new, and it just makes it a bit different than what thing is, because essentially he's the same as Dwarf King Clyde, just worse, because why would you want to stop the charge when you could pretty much just kill the person with Dwarf King Clyde? So his animation is to run towards the enemy, and or you know what, why not? So that normally with Hercules Clyde, they spawn someone in front of the person that Hercules Clyde targeted, so it kind of like stops the guy from running. But why not do like an AoE stop, or what's it, power bind? Since you know, say if they spawn a stand maybe moons in to protect their Timothy from behind, both of the people will get power bind. That will make it a lot better, since the whole point of you know, every time they see Hercules Clyde, they always spawn him in, because this guy is normally not killing people. Half the time, I would say even like 90% of the time, it depends on what level, obviously, he doesn't kill the person he targets. So it's kind of a waste, because you kind of want to use Dwarf King Clyde. So why not make it so it's a rework, because nothing's changing, right? It's the animation stays the same. It's just if they're next to someone, if someone's next to the person he power binds, they also get power bind if they have a charge. You know, that could work. I think that could be a lot better than what he is now. So we've done mystical, we've done sci-fi, and yeah, I think that's everyone actually. We've done superheroes. So let's just go over what we said. The Coon, add a bleed effect to his normal attacks. Let's go to adventure. Make shaman token so he stops charged abilities, and then make it so, okay, this one's a stretch, but Gizmo Ike automatically split into two. So every time the charge happens, he does it automatically without you pressing the actual button on the screen. And then also, if you killed the actual normal Gizmo Ike, he splits into two for the first time. And then we have mystical, which is, I mean, forget the Scout Ike one. I think the Hercules one's a lot better. If the person spawns in a unit and Hercules Clyde happens to hit the person with his power bind thing, if there is a unit next to the person, he will get power bind from his charge. So an AoE power bind, which could work very well. And for the neutral, I mean, neutral, I guess Manbearpig already got it. I mean, I really can't think of anything for neutral. I guess Mr. Mackey, rather than doing attack, he can do attack and speed. I mean, that'll make him a lot better. So that's gonna be all for today, guys. A bit of a weird one, but it's just kind of what I thought about the other day, especially since Final Fantasy's coming out today. I kind of want to make a little video, quick one at least. I don't know how long it's going to be. Just let me know in the comments below what you would rework to the game. And remember, it can't be anything to do with like animation change. It has to be the same thing with like what we said in this video. More of a status change, more of effect change. Nothing too big. Just pretty much staying in the limits of the animation, because I mean, I don't think Reworking is going to actually change animations of actual characters. But there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you are playing Final Fantasy VII, it's going to be a crazy weekend. So thank you guys for watching, and peace.